Hello everyone, CMeeCraft here, and welcome to the life and suffering of Sir Brante in times of the fall of the blessed Archnean Empire. You may have been expecting a Super Mario 64 video today, and I don't blame you for that. Realistically, there should have been a Super Mario 64 video today. However, I have injured my left thumb, so I can't really do analog stick movement with it right now, at least not without causing myself quite a bit of pain. I'm not sure exactly how or why it's hurting. My best guess is either I pushed myself too hard in that most recent Kirby video, or it just happened when I was working out, one of the two. I was lifting weights and stuff. But the bottom line is, right now I'm kind of limited to just things I can play with one hand, which means a lot of, computer games that can be played with just the mouse. And the life and suffering of Sir Brante happened to be one that I had, and got a key for from the developers. So I figured, hey, why not? Don't worry, if you're still on Super Mario 64, that will be back as soon as I am feeling healthy enough to be able to record it again. But in the meantime, we get to enjoy this game, which is completely different. Please stick with me regardless. I hope we can have a good time here. I will also say, I'm not going into this, at least the first part of it, entirely blind. I did initially find out about this game through the demo that they released a few months ago, which I ended up playing the entire demo, which is the first 2 chapters of the game. It was one of those things I downloaded it, and then I really enjoyed it a lot and ended up staying up all night playing it, so I'm quite excited to actually get into the game proper. I did also, this is actually the second time I've tried to record this video. I've tried recording this before, but my audio recording software just for some reason decided to stop working, so I've got to start fresh now, so let us do just that. New game, here we go. And all of that is basically just to say this isn't an entirely blind playthrough, if that's what you're looking for. That being said, it will be entirely blind once we get past Chapter 2, so there's that. We are Sir, I'm always a sucker for alliteration, so we're going to be Sir Brian Brante, or Brante, I think. Sir Brian Brante. We'll be playing with chapter restarts enabled. We could disable them, and I don't plan to use them, but you know what, why not have the option? And our consequences will be open, because that's the recommended way to play the game. So let's go! You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes, every move he makes, he'll be watching you. With every step he takes, every move... At your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle. A path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages. But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
The life and suffering of Sir Brante in times of the fall of the blessed Arcanian Empire. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods, and each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life, and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city back streets, fields of battle, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink, erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice. All of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in the memory, the pain, the joy, inextricably linked and intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most critical questions of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? Is it the man himself? The world around him? A higher power? Or there is no destiny? Now this is a fascinating dilemma. Certainly, one could say there's truth to all of these statements. Yes? And what are we, if not the culmination of the choices in our very life? I mean, certainly, surely. To keep on living, to feel like your life has value, do you not need to feel that you are in control of it, at least to some extent? Otherwise, it's a pretty sad existence if you don't believe you have any influence over your own life. That being said, the world around you, the circumstances of your life, things beyond your control. Where were you born? To whom were you born? Who did you associate with, or had the capability of associating with? Did you get an inheritance? What sort of culture was surrounding you during your formative years? All of these sorts of factors certainly play a role in how your life ends up. Certainly. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue against that. But is it the primary factor? Certainly anyone religious would believe that a higher power has great influence over the lives of man. You know, you got phrases like, God works in mysterious ways, or don't worry, the Lord has a plan for you. So, certainly, if one is religious, then that is a statement one would very much agree with, I would imagine. And then, there is no destiny. What is this existence. Merely a rock hurtling through space with a bunch of, molecules and cells and stuff bouncing around on it for no particular reason, for no particular cause. Is there any real destiny or fate? Any more so than there was a destiny when a toddler scribbles upon a piece of paper? Things just happen. And that is that. There's no higher purpose to it. It's just things happening because that's what happens. That being said, well, as I said, there certainly could be said to be truth in all four of these statements. We need to pick just one here. And despite the fact that this game is the life and suffering of Sir Brante, well, let's start on an optimistic note. And I'd say one of the more optimistic notes among these four statements would be that a man's destiny is decided by the man himself. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Brian Brante will live once more. Looks like we'll be entering childhood. Chapter 1. Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? I suppose we'll find out. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Brian Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Alright, personal life. We got some events that apparently can happen. The fencing lesson, if we get to determination of greater than or equal to 4. Okay. Beyond, if you suffer death. That doesn't seem great. Insight, perception greater than or equal to 4. Nobleman's Sacraments, willpower greater than or equal to 0. Okay, interesting. And what do we got? 0 determination, making us spineless. Apparently we're inattentive. Ready for action at least. Untouched by death. And there's destiny screens. Personality. Okay. House of Brante. And family. Interesting. Back to the book. Let us begin the chapter. Birth. At first there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then, a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. Well, that's certainly a baby crying. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory. You were lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. I have to say, if this is my man's first memory here, Brian, Brian has an amazing memory. I certainly don't remember my birth, nor would I particularly want to, honestly. Anyways, you are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands toward you. There are two of them, the ones who made you, your form, from their own selves, and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and empathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow, barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft, open palm, a strong, closed fist, a lingering, distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. You could reach out to the palm, reach out to the fist, or smile at the shadow. Plus 10 willpower, that doesn't sound bad. Plus 1 determination, plus 1 perception. Let us smile at the shadow. Let's not pick favorites of the parents already. Keep them guessing, keep them on their toes. Your first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Your mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live, and act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips, as if to say, There, baby. Don't cry. This is our secret now. And then the shadow melts into the light. Full of power. 10 willpower. Alright. Sweet. Ready to take on the world. Birth. Year 1118. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little Brian Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night.
My, you're growing so quickly, my child.
There are 2 more children in the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air.
Oh, look, this is your brother and sister.
Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together and I'll always be in charge. 'Cause you were born a commoner.
Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Brian, let's go play in the yard.
It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand and with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek.
He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play?
Then you hide him, and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Glorious glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. And then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Well then, we've got some options here. We can cry loudly, gain even more willpower, find your way home. A bold move for a 1-year-old, but a move we can make nonetheless. Sit there and wait. Well, you know what they always say. Good things come to those who wait, so we will sit there and wait. The bush is covered with leaves swaying in the wind. You brush through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They are different from the blades of grass. Down on the ground, you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it, just enough to sting a little. You hear brisk steps, then the leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Your mother leans over you. You greet her with a happy face and show her the finger with the bug on it.
So that's where they took you.
Mother picks you up, puts you to her chest, and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. $11:20. The Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house, giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria.
My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now.
Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs, even the carpet has been taken away. There's nothing there but a bare wooden floor.
Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong.
It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. Oh, drat, I've got to sing now.
Okay. When the twins came down to the earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil. Always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins are see everywhere.
I apologize for the singing. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face.
You like the rhyme, don't you, Brian? Do you know what it's about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? It's like the sun, except it's a pillar. That's it. Yeah, you can see it, the shining pillar, anytime from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lots as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar. And if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and they then teach everybody.
Gloria stares at you intensely. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerges 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. But you feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? Finish the song properly, or sing the last line wrong? Well, yeah, all things considered, probably not a great time to get, smited by the gods or something, so we'll finish it properly.
Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere.
You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair, standing behind her back, turn to you and look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at where you were staring.
Did you see something, Brian?
You shake your head. Not anymore, at least. 11:21. Year 1121. Spring. The origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you are born a commoner, but father says that you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother, Stefan, now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother, too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl. You will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up. The concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. The lot of suffering. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You'd rather not see her angry. She's not as gentle to you these days.
Why did you hurt Stefan, Brian?
You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword! Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you.
Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon. And then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you are the noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be.
Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. So I could accept the punishment, lose some willpower, and some people will like me a bit more. Deny your guilt, gain some determination. Although, I mean, I did say that I hit him already, so not sure how that would fly. Demand an explanation. Perception +1. That sounds fun. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother's stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with.
Don't you dare ask me about that, Brian. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest.
You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The Teachings of Esatius, Volume 2. Apparently, they didn't have the decency to start me off with Volume 1. Anyways, your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body brings the soul ever closer to the twins' judgments. And when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. Melt. Interesting wording. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Nice.